was 30 years old today.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday,
So
Haynes.
Louise is going to pop in later. Yeah, enjoy. Yeah, well done for that too. Yeah, 30 years old. Wow.
Wow.
Do you want? Oh yes, nice energy. And do you want to have a break for a couple of minutes? Take 5, 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 10 minutes.
Yeah, great. Grace, do you want to? Yeah, with our next guest. We've got another guest on, and Danny wants to take 10 or 20. Take it.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
When Sarah comes on,
Yeah. Is that 11:30?
that's at 12.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Loving these comments as well coming through. I get so sucked into the conversation. I end up like I don't want to be sitting there looking
I did
at
have
my
it
phone.
open, but
Yeah.
I get distracted.
It's all good. It's all good. It's the conversation's fascinating,
It is amazing.
and we're going from one place to another. It's amazing.
It's so good. I was like, oh, this is all like so well-being-y, but everyone's so different. It's
Exactly.
Not like
That's the
no one's
beauty.
sticking. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Some brilliant comments as well. Really appreciate the support, guys. Yes,
Bra.
yes.
Oh,
my
no.
days.
You can stick a plaster over it if you want.
Or he can run one over.
Or he can bring you one over.
See you later, Mum. Love you. See you later.
Who have we got?
Oh, you're gonna like this one. This is a quality conversation.
Uncomfortable.
See you later, Daisy. Legend. Come and wave to the camera. So this beautiful artwork you see on the windows behind us.
This are all
just
the art
wait,
over
all
the walls
art
in
everywhere.
here.
Wait, this is Daisy. She's our resident artist and has made the place look absolutely stunning.
Daisy's been
We appre-
volunteering in
and-
here for a few months, and
And
she's
she's been here since midnight.
She's been here for ages.
I mean,
so big up
granted, off
Daisy.
the back of a night out, but yeah, go sleep. We'll see you
Supporting
later.
local pubs.
Okay, we'll see you
See
later.
you later. Thanks, Daisy.
Okay, cool, nice. So now, if there's a man, this is brilliant, right? So everyone else's descriptions of what they want to talk about,
This one's very short.
because it doesn't need much introduction. This guy's energy is what you want. Like as you walk out your front door every morning, you want to bump into this man because 3 minutes in his presence, it lifts you because his energy is so high.
Perfect.
Can we welcome Josh Phelps to the stage? Here he is,
I
mate.
had another 12 tequilas before I started. How are we getting on?
Yeah, welcome,
Okay.
welcome. This is great.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Gonna take off
You
the
can
layers.
use.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
quite warm
use-
in here.
Just on top and then...
Warmed up a bit. Danny was in the blanket. I think
I
she
know. I
dropped
don't
the
know how
blanket
she's
now.
doing this.
Nah, well, she might do.
At some
but
point.
Maybe.
unloading over here. So she might.
Yeah, just you're used to this. Just make sure it's close enough to your face. So just lift and shift it, or
Yeah, hopefully. Is that all right?
have
Do
it
you reckon?
sweet.
I'm very
Yeah,
loud.
should be fine. Maybe just do that with it. Like, does it turn?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go. That's it.
That
And
one's
then
a bit
just pivot
wobbly.
to your
Right.
face. That's it.
Perfect.
Good. The audience are pretty good at telling us when they can't hear us online. They're
Sophie
quite bold
listens
about
out.
it. You good? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Sophie's
full up.
testing it.
Need a bit more?
She'll tell us.
I
She'll
think
tell us.
yeah, we're good. We're good.
good?
We're good. Awesome to see you, man.
Lovely to see
You
you
all
all.
right?
This is incredible.
It's all right, innit? I don't know
More
what
than
time.
all right.
What time is it?
God knows.
We're 11 hours in.
11 hours in.
Nearly halfway.
And you
Nearly
look
halfway.
fantastic.
Do I? Are you saying that?
I've not got my glasses on, so you look fantastic.
How you
is
doing, my man? You all right?
Incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And delighted to be here. I mean, what a phenomenal thing. Like, just incredible. It blows my mind. And all of the names you see on, they want to be here because they want to support. That's just powerful, right?
It's nice.
Awesome, man.
It is, but it's not done. It doesn't just happen, does it, guys?
No.
Like-
things got to happen, man. Things have got to happen.
You make it happen. That's the difference.
Community.
By getting out there, that's what I'm saying. But you've got to start. The vision's there. The energy's there. As you put it out, it gets attracted back. That's what life's about, I believe.
And this is why Josh is perfect. This is the perfect time of day for Josh. So you can. So, by the way,
So much pressure now.
if you do one thing right off the back of this conversation with Josh, it's just go follow on Instagram. That's it. Because
waffle.
you on my Insta stories every day is
Drives you
wonderful.
nuts.
It's just energy. It's so much. It's that raw energy. It's beautiful.
Raw power.
And I love that you have shifted beyond the body now into the mind and then into the business side of things as well. So do you want to introduce yourself? The work that you do, the businesses that you've got.
Cool. So I'm Josh Phelps. I've always been St Nits to an extent. Had a bit of time out travelling, seeing the world. Long and short, I think this is why I think this is so powerful. I had no idea what to do, where I was going. Kind of lost, you know, run about in a pair of shorts, enjoyed life. Did that, went out to the States for a meaning, for quite a deep meaning, really, truthfully, while I went out there initially. Right. Followed that off the back of quite an impactful life sort of event. Did it, and carried on for about 4 years. Once again, still running about in a pair of shorts, blagging my way through life, having the best time. And 22 hits, and I'm like, oh, I need to grow up. I mean, why? What on earth was going through my mind? But it's just what goes on, right? You have these beliefs, these thoughts. I decided to get a real job. That didn't suit me.
Job?
Yeah, exactly. I know. What I thought was a real job, right? Turns out I'm not very good at real jobs. So went back and went to Australia. Had a bit of a play around there, coached some more soccer in Australia and America. Come back and decided real jobs weren't good for me, but there was one thing I did like doing, that's contributing. And that was what fired me up. That was my power, that was my energy. And as much as people said, you know, basically a glorified PE teacher, that was cool with me because you can make impact. And the fact that I get to wake up and do that is the greatest gift. I still get to do that now, right? So bear in mind, I think about 24 when I decided to stick with the non-real jobs and having fun and being me. Non-real jobs. And that's it, right? You know, there's so much purpose in so many different ways. And that, so now, down the line, 13 years on, Unit Fitness is the gym's co-own, my business partner who's phenomenal. What a guy, and it made huge impact. Yeah, the opposite to me, which was very much needed if there was going to be any form of business past 6 months. But learned a lot from him, from that journey. And as I say, as we go, we develop, we change, we evolve, right? As everyone we do, we're always evolving. And families come along, which was always my dream. 2 beautiful girls now, which in our industry is quite challenging, right? You know, early mornings, late nights, like any industry, truthfully, we all get challenges. It all comes up in different ways. Mm-hmm. And I always wanted to be a present father. That was my thing, right? And so fortunately, in some respects, we stepped back from the role of delivery, get to do bath time, greatest gift in the world. So fun, you know, it's just madness. You say it's the greatest gift. I mean, there's all sorts going on. It's chaos, right? It's complete chaos. There's carnage. There's times you're like, I should be back at work. It's definitely easier. So the gym's been running 13 years. I've worked as a personal trainer. And as you sort of said, the evolve was, right, if I can change the way people feel energetically through the body, through movement, because that's my skill set currently, I did it. And people made a huge difference. And, you know, by seeing changes physically, they felt different. Sometimes it was the image they saw, right? That outside image, they saw the change and made them look, feel, move different. Their confidence changed and it impacted everything in the world. I was like, this is great. And then realized sometimes I was short that actually we had to combine some of the nutrition to get the long-term results. Hence went down that line. And then continuing that learning, that depth, that journey as I've worked with individuals, you saw that even sometimes, unfortunately, changing their physical state wouldn't change maybe their self-image, that deeper self-belief, limiting beliefs, and they'd be holding on to something which unfortunately then would pull them back to maybe parts and areas of their life they still struggle with. And I was like, I want to be able to help them on a deeper level. So of more recent times, last year I had a spine op, so it basically took away my what I felt like was my body, my worth, my tools. Yeah. But over the past 10 years, as I said, I was just the guy running about in a pair of shorts. So I've invested heavily into coaching, into understanding more about who I am, what I can do, understanding business. Because listen, as I said, I was a PT. I wasn't a business owner. You then get a team. You have to become a leader. You have to understand so much more structures, systems, all the fun stuff that comes with business that isn't particularly fun, but you have to know it, right? If you want to continue to make that impact. So that was it, and moved into what has been recently in the past 6 months, leaning into sharing and trying to help support people of all different businesses, backgrounds, and launched what's now called Vantage Coaching. For me, it was taking that vantage point, because it's always taking that step back, that 10,000-foot view, and going, right, my physical health, my mental well-being, right, my businesses, my relationships, energy, you know, and obviously that's affected by what we consume, whether that be your nutrition, as it started off, or maybe it's the outside world, right? Social media, all the fun stuff that we are,
information diet.
Which, yeah, exactly that, right? Is what are we consuming as a whole? What are we doing in terms of movement? How can we try and really look at what we're doing on a daily basis to achieve what we really want? And sometimes it's a hard question to answer, right, and to know, but sometimes we don't take the step back and do it because we're just doing, right? We're just constantly going. And if we're constantly going, we never take the time to step back, then sometimes we end up in a place we're not particularly happy. And that becomes tough, really, really tough for people. And it's challenging, right? Because you can create maybe a job or a life, truthfully.
Yep.
We only get one opportunity. So I'm just really passionate about going, right, how do we make this one amazing opportunity at life be impactful? You know, my things lead with legacy. I want to leave a legacy that's beyond what people do in their will, right? That's it's irrelevant to an extent. What can I leave in terms of my legacy to an extent? And by waking up and feeling that, and you know, ideally leaving the person, you know, with that impression of you know, feeling fulfilled or energized or whatever it is, then that's my mission, right?
Nice. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Energy.
That's what we need, I feel.
Energy.
Perfect. We can do this. We can do this.
The rave music come on now. These lights.
We'll get them on.
Where's the guys doing the mixing?
Yeah, right.
I don't want to say yourself down here, but yeah,
My question would be,
Yeah.
if obviously you're like very passionate about your work and what you do and putting a lot of energy into other people, do you feel like you often prioritize other people over yourself, or do you have like how's your balance with like work life?
Especially
Where's
now
the
with
split?
kids.
Yeah.
Completely times of imbalance. I have to check myself, and this is what I'm saying. Like I have to check in with myself a lot, and I do. I've got something. There's lots of little things I do, like Sunday setups. There's my 90 days that I break in. You know, having that reflection time. Reflection time is really important for myself. Yeah, obviously, you know, you find yourself sometimes when you want to help other people, giving out and not necessarily coming in. But we've talked about the, you know, pouring from an empty cup and all those. So you do have to find, and I personally know when I'm not doing the things, and I've got some real baseline non-negotiables, and they don't have to be extravagant. Like this is this crazy world of health and well-being that you got to get up, meditate for 45 days, not, you know, eat or, you know, cold plunge on your head. And there's so many, you know, they're great. I've got 2 kids that we just discussed. I've got things, it's brilliant,
Realistic
you know.
life stuff,
So I keep it very basic, you know, and I do make sure I get my non-negotiables done. And it's simple. It's movement of some form, you know, it's getting outside. It's I do gratitude, right? I did it for a little while, thought it was a bit of fluff. And then I actually realized the value in it, and actually just waking up and just, you know, nourishing your brain with the right stuff. You know, there's people who will wake up and there's no judgment. They'll go, right, news, bomb. And it's external, right? Yeah. I'm coming from inside out a little bit more now. And just by doing that and starting to realize what I'm controlling, because you can only control the controllables, right? So whether I'm in control in the morning, I can do a couple of things, right? I control my breathing a little bit. Sometimes I wake up a bit anxious, you know, but less so now that we've set structure. And yeah, don't get me wrong. Of course it's not perfect. There's definitely times you go, right, I'm trying to do this for somebody else. And then something out of your control happens, and you do get split. But if I'm moving, I'm looking after my body, I control what I consume. Try not to put too much into my body. From time to time, you know, there's food that isn't healthy, and there's maybe the odd beer and whatever. Yeah. That's cool. That's that. You know, I've got it in control where I feel comfortable when I do it in the times I want to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important, but it's the stopgaps, right? It's that checking in with yourself, and that's the really important part, and that's, you know, being accountable to other people. I have to do that. I have to have, you know, for me, having other coaches, having other people around me, my environment's unbelievably powerful.
So the conversation around balance I find really interesting, because I think it's mostly, and it's just my own perspective, similarly, you know, really driven, high mindset, usually a little bit more awake than I am today. But usually, right, quite high energy, you know, really focused, growth, power, community, all the same. I think that's why we get on so well, right? But I think the view I take on this around balance is we never put a long enough time scale on a measurement. So actually, if we look at the balance of the first 3 years so Christine, my partner's literally just walked in with my 3-year-old. Hi, Henry.
What a smile, by the way.
I know.
It's definitely Christine.
It's all from Christine.
Yeah, where's he?
You know, we Christine won't mind me sharing the first 3-4 years in our business journey together. We did not have a holiday. We did not. We maxed out on credit card. I'm working 140 hours weeks. She's doing the similar. We're not getting any time for ourselves or our relationship. But if we measure it over a 10-year period, actually that's fine. And I think balance is an interesting one, because I think people sell balance as an idea that it's a daily thing, that, you know, you do work-life balance. But actually, I think if you measure balance over a longer period of time, in your relationship with a business partner or life partner, actually, this week, because this week we're doing this for 24 hours, tomorrow I'm going to sleep for a few hours, and then I'm going to go launch another one of these hubs in Wimbledon for a 15-hour day on Wednesday. If you measure me over a 3 or 4 day period, I'm a terrible dad, I'm a terrible partner, I'm a terrible friend, blah, blah, blah. But if you measure me over the course of a year, you're damn sure I'll make up for those times.
Yep.
So I think there's an interesting conversation around the balance of
100%.
that.
Yeah. And I think, as you just said, unfortunately, there's a big push from almost like a marketing sales point, right?
Marketing
you can
everything.
let's live this balanced life. And people are trying to search for, as you just said, the day-to-day balance from the get-go.
Yeah.
I don't know many, if any, business owners, fathers, partners, lovers, leaders, whatever they are, right, that get it quite right at the beginning. No. Even if you look at the beginning of a relationship, right at the beginning, it's this weird imbalancement where you're giving everything to them because you're like, I've got to really be his.
Shoulder, mate.
Oh, hello. There you go. A little bit of a drive-by. By the way, she knew. I just wanted to make sure I looked like, people. All right. It's like, get everyone we know at 11 o'clock. That's why there was only 2 of them. My wife would 100%, say the same, right? There's times when, and not be funny, but staff will be off and you have to step in. There's loads of imbalancements. But as you just said, it's about that longer space. But I think the hard pressure right now is this work-life balance. Let's get it right at the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and it can be in so many different ways, in relationships, in business, there's usually quite a big imbalance. And actually, if you look at, from my background, I would often find people who would be hugely imbalanced, unfortunately, with bad health habits, right? Yeah. They said because that's what happens. They come to the point, sometimes, unfortunately, where they may have had a health warning, or they've really noticed something's changed. Unfortunately, it might be a scale weight, it might be an image seen, it might be a comment from somebody. And then they've maybe lived in this very unbalanced place for potentially as long as 30, 40 years. And then you go, right, okay, there's going to have to be a slight shift, right, in what we're doing. But then it doesn't feel, but I still got to I've still got to do this because otherwise I don't feel, it's not balanced. Yeah, our scales are heavily balanced the other direction. So for us to weigh this out and get that quote unquote balance, we might have to, do a little bit more on this end and a little bit less to this end. So yeah, balance, unfortunately, I think is, and I see this a lot with some of the younger guys coming through, and that's why they want to be online coaches in my industry, necessarily because they go, well, because I can be at home, I don't have to go in, I don't have to work this hour. Yep. But it's also for me to understand that that's not necessarily, quote unquote, their fault. That's what they're consuming, right, all the time. Marketing. And if everybody's telling you don't need to work 10 hours, it's like, what? But, in my head, I'm like, and then, you should never give away anything of your time for free. You should never do all it. And I look back at everything that I did personally, and I'm not saying that was right either, by the way, because it isn't. It's just what I know, and you make the decision of what you know there and there at the time, right? And, it's before Suzanne moved over, she's, from Ireland, she'd made a big jump, huge jump to come over here, and I was working, 5 a.m., I'd be up, I'd sometimes go back 10 p.m., right? She was like, I'm not staying here if you're going to be doing that. And there was months and months, it's exactly as you say, where I saw no one. I was no social life. There was no whatever. I was working to the point I literally fell asleep in the physio's room because I was battered, nearly broke myself. Right? You gotta do what you do. But would I have ever got potentially? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't believe I would have got to where we are right now, which feels more quote unquote balanced because I get to do bath time, because I have to get to do that, because I get to be present on the weekends, because I get to do the other stuff and explore new things. But that's it. If we're searching for the perfect balance right at the beginning, unfortunately, we sometimes don't ever give enough to the things that are required to lean into creation and, as you said, probably like yourself, your mind's going, and there's times, but then you have to check yourself and go, right, okay.
That's where that gratitude, that reflection comes in. And also, just to say, to check myself on this, we're talking entrepreneur to entrepreneur. We're the ones with equity and a risk. That shouldn't be expected of people that are employed to work 7 hours, right? So we're not expecting anyone else to do that. No. We're just saying that's the reality. If you wanted to start your own business, be an entrepreneur, do all that.
Absolutely.
When you're trying to get something off the ground, it's just a reality check.
And that's exactly it, isn't it? You look at what it is you truly want, right? What's success to you? And it hasn't got to be the same for everybody. And obviously, and it's very different for everybody. And the ultimate successful life, or whatever that might look, or you believe it looks like, can change. You know, that alters, that changes. And you might be quite, you know, happy with one thing, and somebody else might be like, that's absolutely the last thing I want. But yet we're being fed that that's what you should be thinking. And like, that's why, can we just check our... And remember, a lot of our beliefs may be from our parents, or people who lived in a very different world, you know, and you take that as gospel. And if that's, or people that maybe run a business that you're maybe wanting to go into, once again, I'll go back into the entrepreneur bit, but maybe you're actually working in a company, you go, actually, I see this is how this must be to be successful, but they don't really know what's going on.
They're selling an expired social contract, and that's the bit that we never... I always, like, most of these sort of things that are passed through culturally, I always kind of frame it as like, someone just forgot to put an expiry date on that social contract. You know, the whole classic, and there was a really good situation, we had it in here, where, no disrespect to, I'm not trying to generalize a generational issue, but we had someone from a boomer generation with our Gen Z, and he was just like, work hard, buy a house, da-da-da. And we're like, hold on, dude. Look at, you don't understand.
No.
Do you? That social contract doesn't exist anymore. That's not going to work for someone who's on 30 grand a year, or even 40 grand a year. So I think it's really interesting to understand that.
And the madness is, right, in 5 years' time, we're going to be in a very, very different situation to what we are right now. And the pace in which life is moving, with everything going on, you know, unfortunately, me sat here 10, 15, how many years in my industry, I know for a fact I can't sit with somebody who's brand new to the industry and go, this is what you must do. Give yourself an hour's free. It's completely not
the way. Leadership bit comes,
you know, and this is where we have to step back and go, okay, that's not the same. What opportunities do you have? You know, where do you see it? And let's understand what that looks like and how that feels. And it looks incredible. How do we make it happen then? Because if we can make it happen, you might know a lot of things that I don't know that can give you that opportunity. And the reason you believe that is because it actually is possible. Because the majority of things are right. And if we go, my way's the way, follow me, or no, that's not leadership.
That's not how life works.
That's not leadership. That's not, you know, that's me sitting there dictating and going, I think I'm the man. That's that's not coaching leadership or any sort of, you know.
So just because it's all about tools, this. So just to close on this. So I know it goes quick, doesn't it? I know it is a marathon. So instead of asking what a great mindset is or what a great leadership is, what do you think are the essential tools, the people that are listening back at home that want to develop they may aspire to develop a mindset like that? What are the essential tools you think that everyone should have when it comes to talking to yourself?
I think you need to understand and listen to what it is you are actually saying to yourself, first of all. Understand who you are right now. Get very clear on that. Look at your beliefs. Look at your environment, okay? Your identity. The communication that you're having with yourself, when you've got a very clear understanding of that, and be really honest with yourself, right? Not what you believe you should be doing or thinking or behaving. You know, how are my actions? What is all that? Let's get very clear on the facts, okay? I want to be a great... Am I being that, though? What is that to me? What does that mean to me? And then challenge some of the beliefs that you're holding. What I'm saying, is that to be true? Where does that actually come from? Is that my true belief, or is that something that's been passed on from my... Is the environment that I'm currently in serving me for who I... Really take that time.
Nice.
So I've got a self-reflect sixth thing, and once again, I have to share that in the same. But when you start to go through those beliefs, those identities, the behaviours, the environment, all those things that we sort of look at on a daily basis that actually helps show up, and then just sit, just for a little bit of time, and go, right, now I'm going to look at who I really would be proud of, let's say, that legacy.
Is the who.
Yeah, and go, right, so how's that person showing up, right? How do they behave? What are they doing? What's the impact actually here? What do I really want to do? As I say, I want to leave a legacy with people, and ideally, every person I come into interaction with, and that is honestly my goal. I mean, it sounds so cheesy, but with my coaches, I'm like, be the best part of their day. Now, obviously, right? Yeah. There's a good chance they may not be the best part of their day.
I feel like that's very...
That's universal.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
So be the best part of their day, okay? And if you can be, incredible. You know, if I can leave you with the impression of increase of something, somehow, whether it be a nutritional tip, whether it be movement, whether it be just because I hopefully make you smile, you know? If I can do that, that energy goes out. That's an incredible starting tip or tool, whatever you want to call it. I think if you can lead with that, then all of a sudden the energy that comes back, you live a whole different life.
It's a win for you, it's a win for them.
It's incredible. It's a win for everybody because then they go and have knock-on effect to their family. You don't know how that spreads, and it's so infectious. But when you know who it is currently you are right now, and ideally just sit and write a list, like a wish list of everything you would love, and just don't hold back. Don't let anything get in the way. Like I'm talking whatever it is, and even if it's something that is materialistic, let it be. Don't let people stop you from having materialistic dreams. If that's what you really want, have an incredible thing there, list it and go wow, and don't let anyone tell you, because the truth is you are willing. Right? If you are able to do anything, if you are willing, right? And that's that willingness. You know, am I able? Yeah, I'm able, but am I willing? Because sometimes it's going to be sacrifice, that imbalancement. Right? Sometimes it might come at the cost of changing, challenging, maybe even becoming a different person, right? But if you've got that clear vision, you go, right, I'm going to keep that get crystal clear on that vision, right? Get so clear. And the funny thing is, you have to check in with yourself because that's going to change, and it's going to change, and you're like, oh no. And that's a bit of a challenge in itself. But if you wake up with that purpose, that energy, you have some action steps, you go forward, and then underlined your core values. And for me, as I say, if I can live that impression of increase, then you know what, if that's one person that day, one person in that world, that might affect another 10, 20 people. You never know where it's going, do you?
There was a concept, and I'd like to seed it here, a concept Sam Squire had some time ago, and thank you also, because something that we should talk about but we don't have time to talk about is the way that you're working with organisations like Inspire to Ignite. This apprenticeship onboarding program is like the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Flowers got it right.
Yeah,
so
incredible.
They had you in there for this conversation. They had Money Advice in there to talk about financial literacy. They had Dom talking about their beliefs. They did all their mind mapping, and then that's before they start their apprenticeship. So there's a seed of an idea Sam planted a while ago that I've been holding on to, but I've never found the moment to think of, to like express it. If you were to, I said when I introduced you, we need you on that door all day. I want people to walk into you every day.
Where's your ID?
Well, yeah. Well, that'd be a lot cheaper, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Security. But I know. I mean, he had this idea of these eye-to-eye talks that he wanted to kind of spread across schools. So, like assembly, like pre-assembly, start of the day. If we could have a Josh like prep talk daily in the morning, would be like one.
Hype man.
We might have a grounded conversation with Lewis on a Tuesday morning. I don't know. There's something around community voices like yours that bring that energy, that bring that smile, that bring some value to people's lives that you could easily stream like we are now with very limited technology, no spend. We can stream this message across so many different channels.
I'm impressed by this, by the way. This looks great.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what any of it means, but
somehow it's working.
But genuinely, I think it's such a great community initiative that could work really simply locally.
Well, I mean,
I think that would be awesome.
If it's there, if it's a thing, I'm 100% there to back it. Because, as you say, energy, motivation, it's one thing. But there's non-negotiable. There's things to have in which are structured that you've got to bring into yourself. You've got to take that ownership. I believe that. But sometimes it's quite nice to have a little bit of external energy, right? Sometimes it's that break of the system. Sometimes you might be in a place and space, as I said, where it feels a bit heavy, it feels hard. It's like, whoa, let's have a check.
Just a little
check
positive
ourselves.
influence
Come on, let's go.
every day.
I think it's lovely. There's quite a trend growing in the UK at the moment of community lectures. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Where lecturers are going into like pubs and they're doing random 1 hour lectures. Why can't we do that on motivation and mindset? I would love to see that.
We can.
Book me in a pub.
Perfect.
Pint of Guinness and I'm on.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's
so
incredible. And I hope it absolutely carries on as incredible as it's been.
Appreciate you.
Thank you
And I prompt you to have a conversation with Lewis over there in the hat. You have not met already.
Lewis in a hat.
Absolutely. Have a conversation with Lewis about what he's doing. I think your experiences would help him massively.
Absolutely.
Give Josh a round of
Thank you
applause.
very much, guys. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Brilliant.